to take your seat. The pride of the Premier League.
You'll never stop this thing. I will never let you go.
And it's live.
Today's match, number 30 in goals, Michael Kelly. Number 2, 𝗟𝗧𝗙𝗥𝗲𝘃𝗶𝗲𝘄. Number 4, Aaron Robinson. Number 5, Nick McDonald. Number 6, Dean Zander. Number 7, Dylan Grimes. Number 8,
Dean Bourne has it. Break, break! Yes! Come on!
score numbers first number 7, Dylan Grimes.
Touch, touch! He can't run! Have a shot!
Just do it!
Have a shot!
Back post, Rob has him on the back post.
That's a great ball.
Come on, come on!
He doesn't want it!
Score for Dundalk for the third for 20 junior presented.
Oh!
Well done, Robbo!
Oh, lads, too easy. No way, no way! Yes! He has to be booked! Yes, well done, ref! Well done!
Come on, ref!
Watch the back. Switch it! Have a shot, Dean! Oh! 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 How did he miss that?
Sandy boy.
I'm going. He's there.
Yeah.
I'm all for.
Keep it to yourself.
Yeah.
Gee. That's it. Time. Relax. And again. Well done.
Go on, 𝗟𝗵𝗲!
You man, who? Do it yourself!
All right, again. Well done.
What's wrong with this?
Huh? No, I just want to see if it's back on. I am telling you now. Up! Oh, lads.
Now I'm here with Longford Town assistant Johnny Martin after a 2-2 draw at home against Dundalk. Johnny, some game of football.
Yeah, Jesus, yeah. Like I think you're going to see more of these type of games when you've got the double headers. I think the second game, when teams are playing for the second time in 3 days, the games are going to be a bit more open, particularly as the games go on with fatigue and what have you. So I think for us against a full-time team, coming up here is great performance from us, I think.
Does it feel like a point gained or 2 points dropped?
Jesus, this is a great question. I think I said to Daria, any point that takes you up a spot in the league is probably a point earned. So look, we're ahead of Waterford now, whatever way you look at it. So look, you take that. So it's a spot gained.
And aside from the result, the performance was absolutely immense. Each and every man put their body on the line out there tonight.
Yeah, like we think the performances in general have been very, very good most weeks. Like, you know, the Drogheda game maybe aside. Like particularly when we've done a lot of work on the numbers and statistics, and we're seeing basically how we're benchmarked against the other teams in the league, and we're right there. We're making the same number of passes, challenges, creating chances. So yeah, like I think we're going to be really competitive. That's what we're saying. We are going to be competitive, and the results maybe haven't shown that yet, but they will. They definitely
I'm
will.
not as big of a stats man as you, but I've been told by some of the people that like to follow it, our XG has been quite low in the last couple of games. So to see Longford create so many chances tonight, that must be pleasing. And maybe if Rob Vanley scores one of those couple of chances he had at the start of the second half, 3-1, it could have been done and dusted.
Yeah, look, and sometimes you look at XG and you sort of think, like, you know, Chris Forrester's goal wouldn't have registered on the XG scale.
I don't understand it all. So
on Friday, but no, like there's some measures like that which help. Like, so one of the things is the ball hasn't been getting into the box enough. So that's an obvious one. If you're not getting the ball in there, you're probably not going to create much. So, you know, the pleasing thing was the number of chances. I was just reading a message from my dad there, and he was like, Jesus, one of the good things tonight was the chances you created. And I thought Cherry made a great save from Rob at the start of the second half. I'd like to see it back. Rob didn't do loads wrong. And I thought then Dean Byrne, just before they scored the second, had a chance, and maybe a little bit of fatigue on Dean coming back into the team after being injured. He didn't quite catch it as well as he would have, but yeah, loads of chances, and we picked them off. I suppose we set little traps for them, and they worked for us tonight.
And speaking of fatigue, you made a change about 15 minutes ago. Dean 𝗟𝗵𝗲, obviously he's come back a lot quicker than expected, and you could see his legs just start to go a little bit. You have to take him off and bring Joe Manley on, and Chris Shields has a lot of space on the edge of the area, and maybe if 𝗟𝗵𝗲 was there with his experience, that's the sort of place he might have occupied.
Exactly, and look, we didn't want to take Dean off, and I suppose Dean came to us and said, look, I think I'm gone, and Dean being the way he is, if he's saying that, then that's how he is. But actually, again, we're going to like to see the goal back. But what the lads are saying is that 𝗧𝗵𝗲 shanked it. So he actually went to play a square ball, and he kicked the ball from his right leg off his left leg, and it ricocheted into the path of Shields. So again, we'd like to look back, but at the time I wasn't happy at the time, because I felt he ran off the back of our midfield. But what the guys are saying was they went to move over for the pass, took a ricochet, and again it got in. But like, yeah, disappointed, like, you know, for that goal, because they never really looked like they were going to work that one on us. The lads closed the space really well. And again, yeah, like someone like with Dean's experience, you can see we are much better when Dean is in the team.
Yeah.
You know, because we're such a young team. I think we're I'll throw stats at you again, but yeah, we're the second youngest team in the league. So, you know, when you have someone of his experience and calibre in the team, then it can only be a positive.
Yeah, look, myself and Tony said that on commentary. He's a really underappreciated player, and a lot of people don't see the kind of little jobs he does out there, and that's another example of it this evening. But look, I know you do a lot of work with the set pieces, and that is a very physical and very tall Dundalk team, and they get back into the game through a set piece. You slightly disappointed with that?
Yeah, we are. Yeah. Like there's a top and bottom of it. We're disappointed in that. Yeah, no, because it is that type of league, unfortunately. Like, it is a set piece league, it's a mistake league. So yeah, we are disappointed. Again, we'd like to see it back. Robbo thinks he might have been fouled. I don't think so. I don't think it was a foul. I thought he got up and he challenged. One of the issues was when the Dundalk team comes in and you see the physicality and you see the size of it, and you look at our team, you know, missing the likes of, you know, 𝗟𝗵𝗲 and 𝗂𝗏𝗃 and that through injury. You know, even there was a factor with Joe coming on the pitch with 𝗵𝗲 coming on and being so physical as well. We were looking saying we actually haven't got someone to pick him up. You know, so look, that's the demands of the game sometimes. And you know, you've seen it here a few weeks ago against Finn Harps. We played a very, very big team to counteract that. So yeah, I think ideally we wouldn't have had Robbo on Cleary. Robbo himself feels maybe he could have done a little bit better himself. So look, yeah, we are disappointed.
Yeah, as you mentioned, there are a couple of injuries coming into this game, and that was another bruising encounter out there, and you have to pick yourselves up and go to Derry now on Friday. This is not easy at all, but that's Premier Division football.
Well, we're loving this, and that's the thing. I've never enjoyed such a sustained period in my career, playing or coaching. Like when we were talking to the players, we're absolutely loving this. You have to go back to this time last year and think where we were. Actually, this time last year, were we playing football even? No, we probably weren't. But you think when we came back in the first division and 𝗵𝗲𝗃𝗶𝗲𝘄, Bray, these type of games here, and we were getting beaten, like, we cannot be anything but absolutely delighted just being where we are and competing where we are, and we will be fine. We will pick up lots of points and we're going to be very, very competitive here.
Yeah, and look, I know the supporters can't be here, but I know from speaking to them, they're all enjoying watching the games and the performances putting in, and the media labs love this as well. So it's a great ride for everyone at Longford. And
it is, and I think, look, if they had been here, maybe that would have been the differences in holding on. And I think there's been games where we've knocked at the doors, and again, if people had been here, I think we might have got over the line a few times. So yeah, we desperately need them back. I think they will give us an advantage here, and particularly, you know, you see the likes of Paddy Kirk saying, look, he's never got to play in front of a crowd in Longford, and having experienced that myself here and experienced the support you get from people here, then, like, yeah, I think that is going to be a factor in maybe the last round of games, even, you know, if they're back for that, and that would make such a difference to us.
Do a management team enjoy a game like that, or was there too much going on for you?
I said to Darragh actually, when we were in the office at half time, started laughing. I was like, that was the longest first half I've ever been involved in. So no, you do enjoy it when you actually set a plan out and the lads are doing it. And like we're trying, like what's hurt us this year is actually individual mistakes. I think tactically we've been quite strong. Yeah. I think we've, you know, had a plan, slightly different plan in most games. I think we've come up the pitch, which probably teams didn't expect as a newly promoted team. We've looked to press from the front, but we've made like massive errors, massive individual errors. And so I suppose watching the game tonight, I said I'd like to see the second goal back. The lads are adamant it was a shank, but I'll have to see that back. But you know, when we go through a game against a professional team, a team full of champions, and probably didn't make big mistakes, that's been sort of prevalent in some of the games, and that's I actually really enjoyed the game. Yeah,
Johnny, brilliant stuff, thanks a million. Now I'm here with Longford Town player Karl Chambers after the 2-2 draw against Dundalk. Karl, from an individual perspective, first of all, fantastic performance from yourself.
Yeah, sound appreciate, Karl.
Any more thoughts on it?
Yeah, well, we were a bit disappointed not to get the 3 points, but we'll build on that into Friday against Derry.
And from a collective performance, I mean, that was a real bruising encounter against a real physical Dundalk side. I know they get back into the game from a set piece, but that's probably going to happen against a team like that. But overall, you withstood the test very, very well collectively.
Yeah, I thought we stuck together as a group. You know, we held in well. We held on to the game. Unfortunate that Shields got out free on the edge of the box or whatever and did what he did, but we came at them early in the first half and got the 2 goals and just held out in the end for the points.
It was a bit like it was a bit like the game against Derry here, where you actively went after them, forced mistakes, and that's what happened in the open half.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, like we're going out against nearly every team to, you know, implement their game and high press, and like we're showing no fear against teams, like so.
Even in the first half against Pats as well, you did that as well.
First half against Pats, we done the same thing. Didn't work out for us, but you know, we'll keep implementing our game. We won't, you know, aside from Rovers, we won't shy away from what way we play and everything else, you know.
Maybe in recent games, as we said, there's been a lot of good stuff off the ball and pressing, but maybe haven't created a huge amount of chances. But tonight, a lot of chances, and particularly at the start of the second half, Rob Manley has a chance to get a third, and if that goes in, it could be a different game. But to create them chances and be in them positions is a huge positive for Longford.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Rob was brilliant, like, and I think even at the end there, Dean Bourne had a chance, which was unfortunately got a block. So yeah, it's good that we're creating chances, and as I said, we'll keep building on it and we'll go into Friday with good confidence now. We'll try and get the 3 points.
As I said, I thought you had a fantastic game, but you must be loving this. You're the longest serving player at the club. You've been around for the Premier Division previously. I know the 15 season was great, 16 season we won't talk about it, but I mean, you must be loving this experience. The only negative, of course, is there's no fans.
Absolutely, I love it here. I think everyone knows that. Like, I enjoyed all 6 years here.
Because I suppose in the first promotion, maybe you didn't play a huge amount of games, but you've won.
Under town, you're just kind of like, there was good experienced lads in there, and I kind of just learned off and worked hard, kept my head down throughout the first maybe year or two, and then just built on that. Like,
do you feel the fact that you're a more versatile player, more experienced now, has given you more opportunities because you can play on the wing or you can play at right back? And
absolutely. Like in the last 4 or 5 games, I think that's been I've been thrown all over the shop, but I think I've shown I can work them different positions. So yeah.
And another big game up next, but they're all big games in this league. A trip up to Derry City. Of course, you won the opening game against Derry, but there's been a change of management since then. So what type of game or what type of test are you expecting from Derry?
I'm expecting them to come out at us wanting to win the game. I think they kind of maybe underestimated us the first game, but I think they've had 1 or 2 decent results. So we'll as I said, we'll look to implement our game, and hopefully that's enough to get us over the line.
Have you played at the new Brandywell before?
I have, yeah. It's a lovely stadium. I can't wait to get out there and play there.
Well, look, hopefully it'll be another good performance. Karl, thanks very much for speaking to me.
Yeah, cheers, man.
Now I'm here with a much happier Gary Reilly this evening. A 2-2 draw for Longford Town against Dundalk. We've gained a point, obviously, but speaking to you just before we started recording, you feel like we might have let 2 points slip as well?
Yeah, I don't think there's any might about it. I thought we were by far the better team throughout the whole game. There wasn't even patches that we were better or worse. We were just better throughout the whole thing. We really, I don't want to say put it up to them, but
went after them.
We really went after them. There wasn't much putting up. We went in, played our own game, put them under serious pressure. Some of the fluting around that they do at the back, passing it around from left to right, didn't really do anything for them throughout the game. I thought Rob and Dylan and Dino were really good at following them around, and then with 𝗧𝗵𝗲 and 𝗟𝗧𝗙 just behind, we're kind of mopping up the bits around the midfield. So look, I thought throughout the game it was a really, really strong performance from everyone, and I don't think anyone would be, it's a point gain for Dundalk rather than and it's 2 loss for us really when you study it.
Obviously we're here to kind of focus on the Longford performance more than anything, but 2 crazy mistakes from Peter Cherry to I wouldn't say gift Longford the lead, because obviously they forced Dundalk into those errors, but it was a great start for Longford.
Well, you couldn't even really argue that the first goal wasn't really forcing on a mistake. That was just a shot that the keeper should have saved. There's no 2 ways about it. I thought he just waved that by him.
He seemed to go at it with the wrong hand.
I don't know what he did. I don't care either. He made a bags of it, and that's his business and Dundalk's business, so we won't worry about that. The second goal, it was capitalising on another mistake, but it was consistent pressure from Longford Town
and from Rob Manley, because he is expecting Cherry to make a mistake.
He is.
He's on his toes, and he takes the ball off Cherry when he drops it, and he still had a lot of work to do. It's a really good finish from Rob Manley.
It's a brilliant finish because the defender was covering that side of the goal, so Rob had to cut it across. So he took it down on the right. I think he finished it with the left.
Yeah.
Brilliant finish. And like we talked about Rob before the game, I said he'd get on the score sheet. Yeah. Before the game, and he did, but it was so much work to do. It didn't seem like he had a lot of work to do if you look back at it, but if you think about it, took it off the keeper, round the keeper, and then deal with the defender on the line as well, probably off balance and stuff like that. So look, that's the way it goes. The defenders or Dundalk will be very disappointed to go 2 down so early, but I think from as a whole, Longford and will probably be disappointed that we didn't come away with 3 points.
Yeah, and look, Rob Manley has a fantastic chance at the start of the second half. He gets in behind, and I think maybe his first touch just slightly runs away from him, and then the ball's on the hop, and he hits it into the top corner, whereas if he takes a more settled first touch, he probably has more time to assess and maybe pick a corner somewhere. But a really good save from Cherry. He's made up for his mistakes with that one.
He really made up for one of them anyway. Rob would probably be disappointed with his finish for that. He could have really had 2 today at least. So look, he'll probably be disappointed with that. But look, that's what's going to happen. You're going to, score some and have some saves.
Overall, he ran them ragged.
He did. Oh, he did, yeah, and he ran himself into the ground, to be fair to him. I think probably with the last 10 minutes to go, we just didn't really have many options on the bench with injuries and stuff like that, so maybe he would have come off.
And I think a crucial thing as well in the last 10 or 15 minutes, 𝗍𝗵𝗲 has to go off because he's coming back from injury. He's come back a few weeks earlier than expected, and you could see he actually made a foul on Shields here just in front of us, where Shields skips by him, he kind of pulls him down. You could tell the legs were gone at that stage. Longford are forced into the change, and then Shields gets an ocean of space on the edge of the area and he scores. And I think if 𝗍𝗵𝗲's on the pitch, that probably doesn't happen.
That probably doesn't happen, but look, you're going to concede some of those chances. It's just a fact of life, especially when you're playing against a team, fully pro team that have nothing to do but play football. Do you know what I mean? So you're going to have that, and you're going to concede chances like that. But I think overall with the performance, we'll be very happy. Of course, Dean Byrne intercepted a pass across the box, and maybe he just lashed it instead of trying to place it. That could have been 3-1.
Yeah,
and would have been a very different ending to the game. But
I did say that on commentary at the time, that I hope Longford wouldn't come back to regret not taking those chances. I mentioned the Manly chance. He had another chance as well, Rob, where he cuts in from the right and he kind of skies it over the bar, and then Dean Byrne has that chance as well. So that's 3 good chances Longford had. If they just took one of them, it's probably game over. But
it's game over, ball burst at that point. But I think, with the way the season has gone so far, we haven't scored very many goals. We've created a ton of chances tonight against one of the better teams in the league. I know they're not running great at the minute, but they're still one of the, individual wise, that they have some brilliant players. I know we said before the game that the 2 centre backs are kind of static, but Longford capitalise on that. Dean Byrne, Rob Manley and Dylan Grimes,
glad you mentioned them. Yeah
3 brilliant games tonight. I thought Dylan Grimes was brilliant. I think he broke Chris Shields' legs just down here in the first half, and just that's the confidence that you have. And I suppose with a first division team coming up against a team like that, you mightn't expect that type of confidence. So it's a real positive for us for this performance tonight. We can look forward to Dundalk. Considering after the result on Friday, I think we did really well tonight, and really disappointed not to come out away with 3 points.
Look, I know we were very down when we recorded the Sunday show last week after the Pats game, because Longford had actually played well as a unit, and it was individual mistakes that kind of led to a 3-0 defeat. McDonald comes in for his very first game of the season. You're expecting maybe a little bit of ring rust. He was absolutely phenomenal.
He was a bit loose in the first 10 minutes, I thought, but my God, did he make up for it for the rest of the following 80 minutes. I thought he was brilliant. And you might expect, to be fair to him, a bit of rustiness is fair enough. You're allowed to do that. He hasn't played this season, so you're going to have moments or hairy moments at the back. And I thought he made up. He had nothing to make up for, but he really had a great performance for his debut of the season. So fair play to him.
And his defensive partner again. We're mentioning him every week at this stage. But if anyone from Mansfield Town is watching this. Look, O'Driscoll, he's not great.
Leave him here.
Leave him be, but he was fantastic again tonight.
He was solid.
He actually made one mistake where he kind of missed the ball here, and I actually said it on commentary. That's the first mistake I've seen him make this season since he came into the Town team.
And he'd be 100% right. I think he's been so solid the whole game. Really positive performances. Really calming at the back. I think he helps out, the players around him, and the keeper as well. And he's very clever. Do you know what I mean? He knows when to boot it, he knows when to pass it, but he's very calm on the ball. He just takes a touch, takes himself into play, very handy, and no floating around, no messing. And it's real comfort to have Aaron O'Driscoll there at the back.
Look, that was another full-blooded encounter out there tonight, and Longford came into this game without the likes of Aaron Dobbs, and there's a few other players making their way back from injury as well. So to go up to Derry now, I mean, this is, if you want to see what Premier Division football is all about, this is it. The amount of games they've had recently, a game like this tonight against Dundalk, and then pick yourself up and go to the Brandywell. It's so extreme and so tough, but this is what we love, and this is the league we're in.
This is why we're here. We're not here to have the crack and go to half the games and only show up to some of them. 𝗍𝗵𝗲 had an unbelievable performance tonight. The last time he played there, I think we lost 4-0 in the League Cup or 5-0 or something like that. I think it was the right beating. But that was in a different phase. They were in first division trying to get up that table. So now we can look at it. We have a very good chance. We've beaten them once this season. They've had a new manager. they're in a revival of some description, but I wouldn't really pass too much remarks on that. We've had some really, really good performances that we haven't been, in comparison to the results that we've had, the performance don't really match the results. So we can look forward to the Brandywell on Friday night.
And look, a final point to make that Johnny Martin made to us when we spoke to him a couple of moments ago. We might be slightly disappointed tonight we didn't get all 3 points, but it's a point at home against a team like Dundalk, and it moves us a place up the table. We're now ahead of Waterford. We went down to Waterford a couple of weeks ago, and it's a game we probably shouldn't have lost. But I mean, this rescues that a little bit, and we can go into that game against Derry and the upcoming games now full of confidence and try and pick up more points.
Yeah, well, like, the way Derry have played under Rory Higgins, they've kind of changed how they're playing. Obviously they needed to do something. Anything was better than what they were.
A bit more solidness about them, is there?
There's a bit more solidness, a bit more steeliness about them. I think they were pushed around when they came down here last week.
They were.
Or not last week, at the start of the season rather. So I think that they're a bit more steely, they're a bit more up for it.
And they'll know what they're up against as well.
They'll know what they're up against as well. Unfortunately, we're going into it with a few injuries in the tank, so I think it's going to be probably a different type of game plan that we're going to need to play again. But I think we can look at this game with a lot of confidence because we have beaten them, and the performance that we've thrown in, we've played everybody now.
Yeah.
And we haven't been outclassed in one game, I don't think. I know you could probably look at the draw of the game, that was probably a heavier result than what our performance deserved.
Just like Pat's last week.
An individual error, a banger of a goal from Forrester, and
another
individual error. So I think we can really look forward to Derry on Friday night and come away with 3 points again.
Yeah, we certainly will look forward to Derry on Friday night.
Time to take your seat.